you wanna say to me now? I wanna wake up.
Alright, guys, hello. This is Coach Hemi here with Correcting Health Coaching, and I just wanted to speak today about the immune response, or let me re-say this: the God-given immune response. Now, what does the immune system or the immune response do? We have technically, it's not necessarily about immunity existing. It's more about how the body can kill foreign invaders, kill infections with lymphocytes, which are white blood cells, and, how the body can protect itself and remain healthy. So let's just go into it. Like, what is the immune response? What it really is, it is all mechanisms used by our bodies as protection against environmental agents, whether they be internal and external, that are foreign, like I said before. They can be microorganisms or chemical. They can be food. They can be drugs, pollen, animals, or abnormal cells. Now, this is very interesting to know because all the things I've listed there are potential things that can harm your immune system or affect it, alter it. Now, in order to understand it more in today's world, you have to think of the innate and the adaptive immune systems. The innate is the one that you are born with for protection. Within the you have like this deals with your natural killer cells. So this is going to be something that is essential for you to have the innate immune system, the immune response. The adaptive, on the other hand, is more of a temporary buffer part of the immune response. This one attaches to the invaders, the foreign things that come within the body, and within 5 to 14 days deals with it. Deals with whatever threat there was, whether it's a virus, with a flu, COVID, whatever have you that comes in. And even like other bacterial infections and whatnot. The good thing about modern science or testing in general is that you can see where your immune response is at. You can take a snapshot of it. And this is run by, there's several panels that can be run, which I will get to, and I will tell all the tests. But you can do a CD4 to CD8 panel, and this will pretty much check your T cells and other cells too, other cells within that immune response. And the immune response is so important because people just think, oh, it's for flus, for colds, for viruses, a little bacteria here and there, but no, it's also good for fighting off cancer. So very essential that we build up, and not just people think of boosting. Oh, let me just mega dose on my vitamin C and vitamin D and zinc, and it's not about mega dosing. It's about building it up, eating the right foods, having a stress-free life. I can attest to this personally. I'm sure many can. Like, food is one part of the equation, but then if you don't sleep right, or if you're stressing all the time, your body's not going to get in line. Simple as that. So yeah, the immune system, it never stops. It's from inception to when you're gone. From earth to earth, in other words. But yeah, so let me also just say out a couple of these tests that you can do to check where that's at. To check your immune response. You can order a test of these are the names of them: NKC, Limp Enumeration Helper, the CEA, the CBC, the CD4/CD8 panel, and the IR6. These will all help you. We have to know that, when it comes to foreign invaders or even things within us, viruses need the host, need you to replicate. They're parasitic in nature. A lot of people, to be honest with you, and that's why I gave you these tests, these panels that you can run. Many people die from bacteria infections because their CD4 is lowered and dropping. The CD4 to CD8 panel, or the ratio, can tell you how strong your immune response and system is. When it is weak, there are many conditions that result, like MS, mono. Oh yeah, mono is horrible. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know MS is. These are all horrible, to be honest. Hay fever, because it's compromised. The adaptation, the mutating, it happens frequently. Now, what are the barriers within your body that are part of this immune response, this whole system, this systematic Swiss watch? I like to use the Swiss watch principle. Shout out to the Wellness Way and other functional medicine people that use this approach instead of using the organs as separate car parts that don't have, that are treated separately. I don't believe in that model. But some of the natural barriers are your skin, which is, largest organ in your body. Then your stomach, the stomach acid when you're eating food that may contain bacteria. If you have sufficient pH, which should be between 1 and 3, well, 2 and 3, because 1 is battery acid, but yeah, 2 and 3, you will not just break down vitamins and minerals and assimilate the nutrients within, they call that the upstream to downstream. If your stomach pH acid is good, then everything else that follows, from the liver and the gallbladder, the bile going into the gallbladder and the gallbladder squeezing when there's lipase, to the enzyme to break down fats when it needs to, and then the small intestine doing its own thing as well. The pancreas also secreting its enzymes as well. And the body's working together. It's like functional gears. It's a Swiss watch, and it's working together. Everything from upstream down, it'll be phenomenal. You'll be healthy. But if especially if something upstream is going on and you can't break down, or your body is susceptible to being infected by things, then this is the problem. We have to find what the root cause is. So going back to this, some organs in your body are more acidic or alkaline than others. Some have some contain certain enzymes and some don't. Then you also have your skin, the skin barrier, which I was talking about. The skin is it's like your shield, your armor, so to speak. Even though you get cut. It's not like it's not a metal armor, but it's an armor. It's protecting what's within your body. So getting sick, right? I say that in quotation marks. Getting sick, sniffle, boogers, etc., is your body doing its job. It's the immune response. When you produce mucus, when you produce a fever, when you produce a cough, your body is fighting off something. It is responding to an invader. It's smart. Your body is smart. It's God-given. Like, it's not just something that's put together and, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Now, unfortunately, nowadays, we have a lot of people with chronic conditions that are going through these cycles within the medical field, and they're not being healed. They're being treated for, but the problem is, let's go to the drugs. These are very lethal, especially when done for long periods of time. It wears down the body. It makes the gut less, how do you say? Think of it makes it looser, like the junction between the gut, the barrier of the gut and the bloodstream, it becomes looser and looser, so things slip through, which then causes these autoimmune conditions. And these drugs, they help, but drugs are for short term. Some people, in some rare cases, have to take them long term, like if you have your adrenals just completely exhausted and you need hormones to survive, or you need the injection in order to survive the cortisol. Some people have I forgot the name of it, but there's certain conditions that you have to use exogenous, which is coming from an outer source, not necessarily within the body, because your body can't produce it. But majority of people don't need to rely heavily on drugs. Even like Tylenol, and I'm talking about these like Tylenol, Advil, Aleve. These drugs, people pop them like just when a little headache comes. Ibuprofen, or pain. Okay, sometimes the pain's a little bit more, but what I'm trying to say is that we need to learn not to just rely on these drugs that are deteriorating with our bodies within and are not helping our immune response. This is I want people, when they hear this, to think. You probably heard this before and you're like, yeah, but you still pop the pills. You need to see if you can find natural alternatives. And yes, natural alternatives, you could find strong variants too. It's not just where like only drugs can become, can come in strong doses. In some rare cases, yes, you may have to use the drugs. I'm not here to be totally against pharmaceutical use, but I want to explain and have people understand, in a greater deal, what they're doing to their bodies when they just continue to pop these pills for little things. So whether it's a fever, a cough, throat ache, your body is doing its job. And see, this is the thing too. When we cover our faces, when we cover our nose, or when we're not like in the present, in the time, when we're not experiencing how do you say, what's around us. I don't want to say life, because then people say, well, people that get sick and die in the hospital, you call that life? No, I'm not trying to say that, but I'm saying like that our immune response responds to that which is out. So it's similar, like pollen is in this. So when you live in a certain area, instead of eating pollen from Mexico per se, and let's say you live in New York, or you live, I don't know, let's say you live in Florida, it'll be wiser, or it'd be better, it'd be best if you can get if you can get honey pollen that's produced there, from there, like from the state you're living in, get honey from that state, because bees pollinate the flowers there, and therefore when it goes in the air, you won't get these seasonal quote unquote allergies. You'll be good. Your immune response, hey, I've dealt with that before, or I ingested something that's similar to this, or is this, so I can deal with it. That's the whole idea, and then when you have the talks of like antibodies and titers, when the count drops, that's why booster shots or boosters of certain shots, certain jabs are recommended. So this is what I'm trying to say. In general, your immune response, you were put here on this earth by the living God to live as a living temple in this place that God put you. Yes, some of us have abnormalities and may need help, but the majority of us, our bodies, if they are able to withtake the surrounding environments, the pollen, not the drugs, hopefully not, but the surrounding environment around us, bacteria, other viruses, our bodies can get stronger. Yes, they may get infected. Yes, we may feel sick for a bit, but that's just our body doing its function, There's so much bacteria and viruses around us. It's outstanding. Some don't interact with us as much as others, but that's the thing. We can't be so fearful and live in a bubble all the time. We can't. This world is not sterile. If it was sterile, it would be probably dead. So if you want a sterile world, if you want to live sterile all the time, then you might as well become a machine. But anyways, I digress from that. I hope that this video gave you a different outlook, that made you think, it challenges what you know, and encourages you, and motivates you not to fear, but to embrace. And whatever it is that you face, that you overcome it, and that you own it, and that you live in the present. Now, this is very vital information. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Coach Hemi out.